I guess I've always loved the mountains, and I always wanted to be a fire management specialist in the mountains, and my whole career has been in southeast New South Wales, but predominantly in the snowy.
It is beautiful country. Like when you go walk on country, you know you're a part of it and you feel a part of it.
It all becomes part of your backyard, and what you see is you feel as though you sort of belong to it after a while. I did.
There's so many things, from animals to plants to people, that are really important assets in our world.
We don't have much subalpine and alpine environment in Australia. What we do have has a whole unique assemblage of plants and animals and ecosystems.
Some of them are beyond compare, you can only find them here, and some of them are extremely rare and threatened, and that in itself is both a benefit and a challenge, because our job is to protect those for the future.
We're here in the Jagunga Wilderness area, which is the core area of the former distribution of the southern crobbery frog. Now, the southern crobbery frog is critically endangered, and without our targeted conservation program, it would actually be probably extinct by now.
They are an iconic species. They're very distinctive, and they're an asset of intergenerational significance. First of all, we want to make sure we have these special species back in their natural habitat, and that is in a fire-prone environment. So we need to think about how do we manage protecting that species and living with fire.
Fire is part of this ecosystem, but wildfire events have potential to have a catastrophic impact.
A lot of the ecosystems we have in Kosciuszko are prone to change as a result of fire frequency. Alpine ash is an iconic tree species. It requires 25 or so years to set seed, and if we have fire frequency inside of that 25 years, we'll burn up the seed stock, and alpine ash won't regenerate and it'll be replaced by something else. We've got areas where older growth alpine ash, in some areas that were more than 200 years old, were burnt during the 2020 Duns Road fire. And we're getting good regeneration in there because those older trees have really solid seed banks. In areas where we may have had a solid fire come through in 2003 as part of the Kosciuszko fires of 2003, which burnt 71% of Kosciuszko National Park, we are seeing poorer rates of regeneration. Looks basically like a grassland regenerating, rather than a forest. Those ecosystems are at risk of being burnt, and if they get burnt too frequently, they're gone.
We really need the means and the capacity to try and protect these areas when we have big wildfire events.
Historically, there's really good collaboration through all agencies in the Australian high country, and that includes Victoria, ACT and New South Wales. And operational specialists meet each year to talk about how they are going to work together in fire management. The way that detection has worked here and in other parts of Australia has been having a dedicated observer in the tower. The importance of those towers was triangulation, and they were a network. So we would get perhaps 2 or 3 different sightings of the same smoke, and we'd be able to accurately map it, sometimes within 100 odd metres of where it was. The fire tower observer skill is underestimated. Being able to accurately describe the fire location, that would in turn mean how fast we could get to it.
It's like looking for gold. You might mistake something for gold, but you'll never mistake gold for something else. And with smokes, they really stick out. As soon as we spot something, we can work out the bearing, and if necessary, give a grid reference or the distance and the geographical location of the smoke. The longest I've done without any supply runs is probably about 36 days straight. The whole time you're there, you never sort of miss anything. You see what's going on around you all the time.
The technology that we use now is dramatically different. We have artificial intelligence-backed cameras that sit on the 4 fire tower sites in Kosci. Those towers all look over private property and state forest as well. They were an all-of-community thing and still are. It's a coordinated process with rapid detection to initiate rapid response to minimise fire impact on the Alps. National Parks staff particularly are pretty exceptional in what they can do in terms of minimising the impact of fire. We specialise in remote area firefighting, so small crews of 4 or 5 people being winched in out of aircraft into a really steep country and being able to deal with a fire, perhaps supported with a helicopter and a bucket, is all that's needed. It's not necessarily a big fancy show.
I work up to divisional commander level and also work remote with helicopters, winching in and out of remote area fires that are started by lightning strikes, and find that work really rewarding to get out there, get our job done and come home.
Our helicopters are used for firefighting through direct attack in the summertime on wildfires and fuel reduction through aerial ignition, both on fire campaigns and pre and post-season hazard reduction burning programs.
We do asset protection zones, which is protecting all the assets that you can see here and in other areas.
Down at Uringabilly Caves, we did mechanical work with a mulcher and made a big buffer zone down there, which during the 2019-20 season, we managed to save all the heritage listed buildings down there with a small crew. For me, that was the pinnacle of getting in and can actually see the work that we were doing was making a difference. Because if we don't do this work and we lose these assets, not only the European heritage, the Aboriginal heritage as well, it's gone. It's something that future generations won't ever get to witness.
We want these core values, these plants and animals to be here for the next generation and the next generation.
Really, if we want to see the persistence of the biodiversity in this unique ecosystem, we need to look after the snowies.
We all have a responsibility to make sure that we maximise the opportunities for future generations to enjoy those species like we have.